There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
In this constantly changing world where businesses move at a rapid pace, Innodata solves the toughest challenges in any industry through human expertise and the power of technology. We are a community that thrives on a culture of collaboration, ideation, and innovation. And we want you to be part of our family. Your journey towards a meaningful and thriving career begins with us. Be part of the Inno community. We are Innodata.
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Intuition. When enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The confidence you get when you work with Cognizant, where we engineer every aspect of your business, technology, processes, and experiences to anticipate expectations and act instantly. This is intuition, and we can engineer it.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to Jobs180.com's Marketing Me Live with Forbes College and Bicol State College of Applied Science and Technology.
So today we will be joined by speakers from Jobs180.com, Inspiro, Innodata, and VXI. Before we start, may we invite everybody for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
All right, so again, welcome everyone. Kamusta po kayo? So we hope everyone is doing well and okay today. So by the way, my name is Joyce and here with me today is my host partner, Miss Yumiyap Abul, and we are from Jobs180.com. So we will be your today's host and we are live via Jobs180 Facebook and Jobs180 YouTube page. And may we remind everyone, may we remind the students na you can watch po via Facebook or YouTube. So not here's the StreamYard. Okay? So again, maybe ask everyone na you may watch po via Facebook or YouTube page. So we hope that everyone is looking forward to learning something new today. So to officially start today's session, may we invite Dr. Virgilio S. Perdigon Jr., the academic coordinator from Forbes College, to give us the opening remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Pardon my voice and my surroundings here. I'm at home. I would like to express my gratitude to Jobs180.com for initiating this online forum. I hope I am not so pedantic when I say that jobs are, for most people, are the way out of poverty. And in fact, in the national economic policy, if you want to eradicate poverty, give people jobs. And for that reason, I truly appreciate the efforts of Jobs180.com. My advice to all students who are watching now, please pay rapt attention. You will benefit from this. Stay all along. Don't quit here. Wait for the completion of this forum. Take notes, and whatever you learn here, apply when you go out there in the world of job seeking. Without further ado, I would like to um, turn back the microphone to our host. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perdigon, for gracing the event. And so thank you so much po for trusting Jobs 180 also to power your event. And of course, we hope for more collaborations with Forbes College pa po, for in the near future. And of course, we will make sure that the students will really learn something new today and useful. Yan, syempre. Ayan, so partner.
So, thank you, partner. Thank you so much, Dr. Perdigon, for that wonderful opening remarks. And now, let us all welcome Dr. Jake M. Laguador, the Vice President for Academic Affairs of Bicol State College of Applied Sciences and Technology, for his opening remarks.
Thank you, Miss Yumi and Joyce. And I would like to welcome the participants of this career orientation webinar. And on behalf of the Bicol State College of Applied Sciences and Technology, I really would like to thank and we really appreciate the efforts of the Jobs 180 for spearheading this activity. Because I believe on the advocacy of Jobs 180 to reach as much or as many students as possible for them to increase the employment rating of the country. And from the Philippine Statistical Authority, the estimated employment rating of the country as of May 23 is 95.7%, which is higher than May 2022 employment rating, which is 94%, which is higher, 1.7% increase from the previous year. So I believe that the Jobs 180 will always ready to help colleges and universities in the country to improve the employment rating of the country. So my kudos to the organization, and hoping that you will inspire more people to have their to make their students, to make our students job ready. So for the participants today from Bicol State College of Applied Sciences and Technology, let us take this career orientation seminar seriously, because this is a preparation for your future jobs. No matter how good you are in school, but you don't know how to package yourself, you cannot be hired in your dream company. So make the most out of this activity. So actively participate and be attentive to all the lectures, and please apply what you have learned from this activity, because no matter how good our facilitators and our speakers for today's activity, if you are not going to apply what you have learned from this activity, the purpose of this activity will be defeated. So remember that your success, students, is also the success of the organization, most especially BSCAST. So with that, I would like to declare that this career orientation webinar 2023 for BSCAST graduating student is now officially open. So thank you very much, and God bless us all.
So thank you so much, Dr. Perdigon and Dr. Laguador, for gracing the event, and we are looking forward to collaborating more with your team in the future. So as usual for our audience today, please comment your school, name, year, and course. Again, do not forget to comment your school, name, year, and course. And if you have any questions later on, please type them in so we can answer them after the talk. So the Q&A portion will happen after each speaker's presentation. And don't forget to tag and share this to your friends. Make sure to mention them in the comment section, because for sure they do not want to miss this event. Also, for your attendance, the link will be flashed on your screen and will be also available at the comment section.
All right. So thank you so much for that partner. Again, we remind the students that you may watch po through our Facebook page or YouTube page. And so please do not enter the stream link. So it's only for the host and the speaker. So again, we remind everyone to please watch via our Facebook page and YouTube page. And so here is our schedule for today. So we have 4 topics for today's session. So first, we have job applications using ResumeLink, which will be discussed by jobs180.com, virtual interviews and dressing up by VXI, how companies hire for work from home jobs by Inspiro, and how to manage stress by Innodata.
Wow, partner, I we have great topics for today and I bet everyone is excited and ready to listen to our speakers for today. So shout out to everyone who is already here na, and for those classmates and schoolmates who are not yet here, tell them to come and watch our webinar because we will make sure learning will be fun, and I'm sure that you will learn lots of things and we are going to need these things that we are going to learn when we enter the world of work or the adulting life. So don't forget to comment your school, your name, year, and of course, your course. And as we go along, type in your questions so we can read it later. Sabi nga ba ni Susan Rosas, huwag mahihiyang magtanong, and this is your chance to ask before you face the world of work. So to our audience, sit back, relax, and let us all #learn together as we introduce our first speaker. So our first speaker will be discussing job applications using the resume link, and he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. As a trusted resource speaker, he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 colleges and universities nationwide. So let us all welcome the managing director of Jobs180.com, Mr. Kim Chua. Sir Kim, take it away.
To all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist. Now, if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami yung mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Baka mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink by definition is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J, o kaya J Santos, o kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobs180.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs 180. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas na may-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba, antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman hindi masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede kang makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi porkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na at the minimum. You know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagay mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di ba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man 'yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency, no, ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yun talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, ito pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, di ba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende kung ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende kung ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari, nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, di ba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae, in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan, member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think, babae ako. Di ba? Pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris. Nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick. O diba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yung pala, babae. O diba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay kayo ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong iExpert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingin pa sa'yo ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on, what happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang, you can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information, and in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano, kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yun ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs180.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay, ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs180.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs180.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay? When you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now, another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now, there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs180.com. Send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na naman yung HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, diba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo. Pagiging creativity mo, ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So depende. So maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print 1 long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung buong details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, doon pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet? Kailangan ng pang-load. Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, diba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Diba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, diba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anumang version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, from north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control, sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay. Diba? So, ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform, kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them, sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs180, you can update it real time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala. Anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontak ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. O ha? O, 'di ba? Char-char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Ayun. So thank you so much, Sir Kim, for discussing about ResumeLink. So to our audience, BSCAST and Forbes, ayan. So we are now opening the floor for questions. So if you have questions regarding ResumeLinks, so please, huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. Please type in your questions sa ating comment section. Ayan, this is your time. Ayan, na mag-ask ng mga questions about resume, about job applications using your resume link. Ayan. So, if you have questions, so feel free to post your questions on the comment section and we'll try to answer all your questions. Siyempre, Sir Kim will try to answer all your questions. Ayan, so while waiting for questions, I think Sir Kim is here. Ayan, may prepare siyang questions for you. Ayan. Miss Yuni?
Hi. So thank you, Miss Joy. So Sir Kim, I have prepared questions for the resume link because if I were a job seeker also, I would probably want to know some of these questions po. So my first question is looking at the resume link, for me, it would be too good to be true kasi nga, sabi mo kanina, it is free. So, tanong ko lang po, bakit nga po free yung resume link?
Okay, bakit siya free? Para gamitin ng marami. I think that's the most practical, straight to the point answer ko. This is a tool that would be able to help more job seekers find employment. Wala ka pang trabaho, magbabayad ka na ba para lang gumawa ng resume? So, I think one of the objective of the company is to be able to help out job seekers find better opportunities. And for you to do that, you have to be equipped. Kumbaga parang sasabak ka sa sasabak ka sa isang labanan, di ba? So you have to prepare. And so in doing so, we're not going to charge anyone for making a resume link because it's something that you would want to use para ikaw ay mas makahanap nga, mas mabilis, mas efficient, mas secured ang data mo. Yan po. So I think that's yan ay pinaka-straightforward answer ko sa tanong na yan. Kaya there's no point in charging job seekers for creating their resume link.
Yan. So, thank you so much, sir, for your answer. And I think na malaki talaga yung tulong ng resume link, especially to job seekers na walang experiences in making resumes or walang experience in using Canva or other platforms when making a resume. My next question, sir, is our information will be really safe when we use the resume link?
Okay, so marami tayong kinonsider, no, para pag gumawa nitong resume link at isa dito sa pinaka-kino-consider natin, yung topmost priority is the security of information. Now, when you go through your account, sa mga nandyan po nakikinig ngayon, sa mga taga BSCAST, saka sa Forbes, college, at iba pa po na hindi taga school na nabanggit ko, pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, isa po sa pinakamagandang security feature niya is that you can control lahat ng gusto mo i-control. Ikaw mismo as a job seeker, as a user, as an account owner, you can set it up in a way kung anong gusto mo lang ipakita sa public, yun lang i-set mo to show in public. Now, halimbawa lang, may mga information ka na hindi ka komportable ipakita ngayon, pero gusto mo lang naman i-save for future reference na pwede mo gamitin at ipakita anytime, you can always set it in a way for you to control yung privacy settings mo. Yan. So yan yung isa sa pinakamasasabi kong very obvious, no, why security is factored in. Another thing pa is yung nabanggit ko kanina, pag pumunta po kayo sa website ng Jobs 180, makikita nyo doon may search bar. Yung search bar na yun, ang pwede lang niya ma-search, tatlong bagay lang eh. Pangalan ng kumpanya, yung position na hinahanap po, yung position title, at saka location. Yan lang yung tatlong information pwede mo ma-search. So the name of the person, even if you know the name of the person, halimbawa, pangalan ng tao, shoutout lang ako, pangalan niya Jerome, pangalan niya Stephanie, pangalan niya Luisa. Try mo i-type doon sa search, i-search mo yung Luisa, yung Jerome, yung Stephanie. Tingnan nyo kung may lalabas. Sa tingin ko walang lalabas because hindi searchable ang resume link. So if you're using a resume link to apply to companies, dapat alam ng kumpanya or yung HR yung eksaktong link mo. So that only means ikaw nagbibigay nun. Di ba? Wala nang ibang magbibigay ng resume link mo, ikaw lang yun. As a user, as a job seeker. So that is just to prove to you na itong tool, hindi lang siya security talaga yung pinaka parang core, no, objective natin with this tool. Yun po. I hope na-answer ko yung question, Ma'am Yumi.
Yes,
Ayan,
we
so
did,
thank you
sir.
so
So
much,
thank
Sir
you so
Kim.
much, sir. So ito na rin po yung
Alright, sir, we have a
Yes po,
question
Miss Joyce.
from
So
the audience, from Sir Ivan or Yvonne. So let me ask. Ayan, so ask ko lang po if is there any distinction na account like naka-premium? And if so, ano po ba yung features if there is? So akala niya may basic, may premium, or may deluxe
Okay,
account.
ulitin ko lang
May
po, no,
distinction.
Yvonne, ang resume link po, libre. Wala tong bayad. So, kung paano mo siya papagandahin, nasa sa inyo po yan. Nasa job seeker po yan. We give you all the features. We give you all these tools for you to play with. Ikaw nang bahala kung paano mo ayusin. So, wala po tayong parang basic or premium. Hindi po tayo magcha-charge, no, para kayo ay makahanap ng trabaho. Ulitin ko lang, no offense sa ibang mga kumpanya na yung mga job site na nagcha-charge po, no. Tayo dito sa Jobs 180, wala po itong bayad. As a job seeker, hindi namin kayo sisingilin. Okay, kayo po ay maghanap ng trabaho para kumita, hindi pagharap ng trabaho para magbayad para makaharap ng trabaho. Yun po, yan ang natin, ginawa natin. Okay? So I hope nasagot ko yung tanong ni Yvonne.
Yan. Thank you so much, Sir Kim. Tsaka kahit nasa saang lugar man kayo, pwede niyong gamitin si resume link. Kahit nasa labas pa
kahit
kayo
ibang
ng
planeta
Pilipinas.
pa, basta may
Kahit
internet.
nasa ibang planeta pa kayo. And it's free as long as may internet connection, you can
Yes, that's
open
correct.
your resume link, your account. Ayan. So, thank you so much, Sir Yvonne. So, we hope, ayan, na-answer namin yung question. So, if you have questions pa, Miss Yumi, meron pa po ba?
Habang sila yung nag-iisip pa, paalala ko na lang sa mga
my
audience.
last question na po ako para kay Sir Kim.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Yumi.
Ay, sige, sir. Okay, sir. So, yung last question ko po, sir, is paano nga ba namin malalaman if na-receive ng company yung resume link namin or ino-notify po kami ng resume link or magme-message po ba
Okay.
yung companies?
Okay, so when you use your Jobs 180 resume link, doon po sa job seeker dashboard nyo, makita nyo yung application status ninyo. Makita nyo kung sila ay napaprocess na o sila ay hindi pa napaprocess, meaning unprocessed pa. Dalawa lang yan, process at saka unprocessed. Okay, so you can check on it. Hindi mo kailangan istorbohin yung kumpanya, tatawagan para mag-follow up. All you need to do is submit your resume link to those companies na gusto mo applyan, and then you monitor it through your job seeker dashboard. Sa dashboard, tignan nyo po yung mga in-applyan, kung ano na po yung status. Okay? Ayun, I hope nasagot ko yung tanong ni Ma'am Yumi. Ayan.
Yes,
So,
sir,
again, I
you
was saying
have
lang
answered
kanina,
it perfectly.
papaalala ko lang sa mga audience ngayon, you can check out a lot of companies, a lot of opportunities doon po sa link na nag-scroll ngayon. Pumunta lang po kayo sa jobs, sa schools, schools.jobs180.com/Forbes College. At pumunta rin kayo sa schools.jobs180.com/BSCAST, BSCAST. Okay, pumunta kayo sa mga respective link na binanggit ko at nakikita nyo sa screen ngayon. Makikita nyo po yung mga companies, marami pong opportunity. Kung kayo naman ay hindi taga BSCAST at hindi taga Forbes College, pwede rin kayo pumunta sa jobs180.com, www.jobs180.com, at doon kayo mag-check ng mga iba-ibang opportunities. submit niyo po resume link niyo para mas mabilis kayo ma-process. Thank you!
All right, so thank you so much, Sir Kim. So to our audience, if you'd like to know more about Resume Link, you may visit again our website. It's www.jobs180.com, or you may visit your school portal. Yun. So as mentioned by Sir Kim, so for Forbes, it's schools.jobs180.com/Forbes College. And for BSCAST, it's schools.jobs180.com/BSCAST. So thank you so much, Sir Kim. So ayan, maraming salamat. Again, if you still have questions po for Sir Kim or about the resume link, you may message us at our Facebook Messenger. So thank you so much po, Sir Kim.
Bye-bye. Ingat po.
Alright. Thank you, Sir Kim. So now,
Thank you, sir.
before we introduce our next speaker, maybe just remind the students, everyone from Forbes College and from BestCast that we will be flashing the link later for your attendance. So again, ayan, so keep on watching kasi hindi malay nyo kung saan namin i-flash yung eval, no? So there will be an evaluation link which will serve as your attendance for today's session. So if you have questions din po, please, huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. Ayan, so to introduce our next speaker, Miss Yumi.
So thank you so much, Miss Joy. So we now surely know how to apply for jobs using Resume Link, which is very convenient for the job seeker. And now we will know how to properly dress up, look good, and how to ace our virtual interviews. So our second speaker will be presenting virtual interviews and dressing up. So she is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resources Development Management at Holy Cross Davao College. She started her BPO career at 2016 for 1 year and 6 months as an agent and employee engagement officer. And she transferred to another BPO company where she stayed for almost 3 years and a half. So she has 1 year as an agent and almost 2 years as a ready for train product ready trainer for two retail accounts. So with her years of BPO experiences, she joined VXI last February 2021 as part of the language team. So let us all welcome the talent acquisition specialist of VXI, Beatriz Pamela B. Barbarona. B, if you're ready, you can now share your screen. Good morning
Hi
po.
everyone. Hello. Good morning.
Morning, B. So your screen is up. So if you're ready, we'll
Okay,
leave it with
so
Paul. We'll be back after 20 minutes for the Q&A.
All right. So, hi everyone. Good morning. My name is B. You can just call me B. I'm one of the talent acquisition officers for VXI and basically officer in charge for the language team as well across the Philippines. So, I may be located in Davao, but I am covering bases as well from Luzon to Davao sites that we have in VXI. For today, I'll be providing you interview tips and what to wear and how to prepare for your virtual interview. Now, before anything else, I'd like to provide the objectives as well for this session. By the end of the session, participants will know the following: how to prepare for a virtual interview, what to expect from a virtual interview, and how to succeed in a virtual interview. Let us start off with discussing what is virtual interview. A virtual interview is an interview that takes place remotely and sometimes over the phone, but often using technology like video conferencing and other online communication platforms. Virtual interviews are often conducted much the same way as face to face interviews. Virtual interviews were most often used during the pandemic, when we experienced the lockdown, where businesses had to also adapt to the situation and the current state of actually the whole world at that moment. And of course, in order for the business to thrive, they have to keep up with the changes and the situations they are given. Hence, it was mostly conducted at the time that they conduct virtual interviews and virtual meetings because of that. Now, I will be sharing a few tips on how you can also succeed in your virtual interviews and how you can prepare for your virtual interviews. Now, first off, when you're going to be doing a virtual interview, you have to make sure that you test your tools. Now, a virtual interview requires tools like cameras, microphones, in your computer, and a software program like Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and other online program that they utilize for the virtual interview. And most importantly, a reliable internet connection. Now, why is this important? Of course, when you're going to be doing or conducting a virtual interview, you have to make sure that your interviewer can see you, can hear you clearly, and most importantly, will not have any experience of intermittent connection during your interviews. You don't want to you don't want to present yourself as having a problem with your internet connection, because it may also cause for your interview not to be successful. Obviously, if you have any problems with your internet connection, they can't hear you or they can't understand you clearly, hence would result into an unfortunate result of your interview. So please make sure to test your tools, even the microphones. What I can suggest really when doing a virtual interview is to find a noise cancellation headphones or headsets. That's one way of making sure that the sound that they're hearing from you is obviously just your voice, and that you can keep the conversation as well with the interviewer as professional as it can be, because there are times that we can't avoid any situations, like there's a rooster in your background, a dog barking, or maybe a door suddenly opens while while you are in the interview. So of course that will also affect the results of your virtual interview. Another thing that you also need to prepare is, of course, what to wear. It doesn't mean that you're going to go into a virtual interview that you're just going to wear clothes just like what you're wearing normally at your house or in your home. Now, you still have to present yourself professionally. So you should be dressing the same way as you would in a face to face interview. Now, when I say dress, do not overdress yourself as well. You have to keep it professional. Tulad nga ng sabi nila, less is more. When we say less is more, do not do more makeup for women and for our ladies here. And for men as well, you have to make sure that you wear something professional. Hindi naman yung suit and tie din ha. Is depende na din sa company na you're applying for. But preferably something casual, something smart casual, as they say. Para at least they would see na, even if it's just a virtual interview, they would see that you are interested and committed to the company or to the job that you're applying for. And of course, what you're wearing in your virtual interview is what they can see of you in that virtual interaction. So first impression that they will see is, of course, what they're going to see from you. And that's what you wear, how you clean yourself, how you also make sure that your hair is appropriate, hindi yung parang spiky yung buhok ha. And for our ladies as well, sorry, ladies as well, as much as possible, yung para medyo clean din tignan. Para at least your interviewer would see that you are professional and ready for your interview as well. Now, for when you're going to be doing a virtual interview, you don't need to wear perfumes because of course they're not going to smell you naman. But there are some cases that we also have applicants na nagpe-perfume pa din because it boosts their confidence. So whatever makes you feel confident in dressing yourself and presenting yourselves and in how you want to see yourself with the interviewer, that's up to you so long as it's professional pa din. Next is be prepared. Now, preparedness in your virtual interview doesn't mean that you have to prepare a script or doesn't mean that you have to create a script in answering. As with any interview kasi, you'll get the best results if you take time to prepare in advance. Now, just because you're in front of your computer doesn't mean that you should rely on the ability to quickly look up answers and rely on pre-written answers that you can refer to. You should prepare so you can have a natural conversation without clicking around or reading directly from a script, which can seem rehearsed and unnatural. The common mistakes kasi when doing a virtual interview, especially if you're not prepared, is if your interviewer throws you a question, you're going to end up searching for your answer while you're doing the interview. And that's not going to show a good example to your interviewer because that just basically means you're not prepared for the interview. Now, a simple research about the company that you're applying for, a simple research about the post or the job opening that you are applying for gives you a better chance of being prepared with any questions that you may be thrown at. Now, the interview questions would usually be about, of course, your skills, your assets, and how you can perform and how you can make a difference in the job posting. But another part of that interview is about the company, about the job posting, and about the work that you're going to be doing with the application that you have sent. So again, let me reiterate, being prepared doesn't mean creating a script or preparing a script in advance. We don't want to sound robotic kasi when we're doing interviews. And your interviewers would definitely know na scripted yung sagot nyo or well-written yung sagot nyo. So you have to be natural. The best way that you're going to really succeed in your interviews is to really sound natural. Balik conversational yung usapan nyo ng interviewer and of course with you as well as the interviewee. And it's very important for you guys to remember that kasi it's going to make it or break it for your results of your interviews. Another thing here is to limit the distractions. Now, I understand when we're doing the interviews at home, there's going to be a lot of distractions. Like what I said earlier, um, there are some cases na we have neighbors who have roosters. Yung neighbors natin, merong 10 aso. Sabay-sabay pa yan magbabark all at once. And that can be heard in your microphones, in the headsets, of course, especially if it's not noise cancellation. Na. We don't have control of that. Now, the best place to take an interview in your home is a quiet location with a few distractions. You have to choose a room that is clean and professional looking so the interviewer can focus their attention on you and not what is around you. If you don't have a dedicated office space, you can also use the bedroom or a guest room or a kitchen table or a cleared out closet space. And you can place your computers or your laptops there and make sure that you can also present yourself in a portrait mode. Nakita nila yung at least from ulo hanggang bust mo din. Now, limiting distractions kasi would also help you a lot. From my experience when I was doing interviews as well for language trainers, there were some instances that when we were in conversation with the applicant, may biglang pumasok sa kwarto niya. So of course, even if the interviewer that time was talking, when that door opened, the applicant got distracted and was lost for thoughts. So parang nakalimutan niya na tuloy kung ano yung sasabihin niya, saan siya naputol, and saan siya na-interrupt. And that's very, very common if you're going to do virtual interviews or remote interviews. So you have to make sure that you remind people at home, if you are with a group of people, with your family at home, to give you at least 30 minutes to an hour to ensure that they won't distract you, they won't interrupt you, or they won't even like open any doors that you are staying in. So that will definitely distract you. Another thing is yung background noise. We can't control if our neighbors are like doing renovations. Kasi di ba, tayo namang mga Pinoy kahit medyo nagsa-struggle, kahit medyo hirap, meron tayong time and meron tayong ways to renovate our house. So merong nagpupukpok dyan, merong mga nag-aayos ng mga bubong or whatnot. So you have to make sure that you can find a location far away from that noise. So whether you like it or not, whether you feel like you can control it or you can keep your composure, there's going to be one moment in that specific time that would distract you and would really have an impact as well with the results of your interview. So making sure that you are in a quiet place, in a conducive area will definitely help you to have a successful virtual interview in that specific time or process. Now, before I proceed with the next steps here, I would like to also add when you're going to be doing interviews, you have to make sure that you prepare yourself in general, not just the tools and what you wear, but making sure that the location that you have is prepared. So, yung background natin, make sure na if it's not like a blank wall, it's at least a not distracting na wall. When I mentioned earlier na your interviewer will focus their attention on you, you have to make sure that their attention is just nasa inyo. Hindi yung nasa background nyo. Some cases kasi meron tayong background na nasa kusina tayo, kita yung mga ano natin, mga kitchenware. So of course, tendency is interviewers would roam around your area and check, yun yung nakalagay yung kitchen counter nila. So, ayun lang. Find a place na your interviewer won't be distracted and at the same time, you won't be distracted as well. Now, another tip na I'd like to share as well for everyone here is appearance. Now, when we talk about appearance, it's not just how you what you wear and how you present yourself, or to be specific, what they're going to see from you. You have to appear poised and professional. Because interviewing via video or phone limits the ability to communicate with body language, it is important that you present yourself in a poised and professional manner. For example, if you get an unexpected question, make sure to stay calm and take the moment to collect your thoughts. Some cases kasi if we get too caught up with our emotions and if we get too nervous, we oftentimes have difficulties in controlling how we react. One thing there is facial expressions. I have experienced interview or applicants who have very strong facial expressions like rolling of the eyes, nagsismirk, or any certain actions that is presented in the video conference would also have an impact with the results of your interview. So, keeping it professional and poised and staying calm in your interview would definitely help you as well. Now, another thing that you need to remind yourself of with the appearance is you have to sit up straight and ensure that your camera is placed so your face is in the middle of the screen, and of course, not too much blank space above or below your head. And in most interviews, you normally shake hands with your potential employer at the beginning, right? And of course, at the end of the discussion. Since we can't do that in a video interview or a virtual interview, you have to find other ways to greet and exude enthusiasm, like smiling and giving a confident wave with eye contact. Now, showing confidence early on during the introduction part definitely gives you a better chance of passing your interview as well. Because it just shows your interviewer that you are confident, you are committed, and you are ready for your interview at that moment. So, showing that to your interviewer will really make a huge difference with the results as well. Now, another thing that you have to remember here is building rapport. Now, establishing rapport is important in any business relationship. Um, this is basically going to allow you to separate yourself from other candidates by building a personal connection with the interviewer. And of course, when you interview in a person, you have to be enthusiastic. You have to have like posture, handshake, or a small talk to help you build that connection with your potential employer. Now, when communicating virtually, it's still necessary to find ways to establish rapport. You can do this by being prepared to talk about common interests, asking how your interviewer's experience has been with virtual interviews, or finding some other neutral topic with which to learn more about your interviewer. Small talks is basically you can maybe even ask, how's your day? How's your day going? How is it so far? Asking them like these questions would also help you build like a small conversation and a rapport with your interviewers. It doesn't mean that you are being interviewed that you're not allowed to ask them how their day was. Of course, that's normal as a human being. Mangungumusta naman talaga tayo. Whether it's our interviewer, our employer, our friends, or family, that's very natural of us Filipinos. And that's okay if you do that during your virtual interviews as well. Kasi you already have a gap given na nag-virtual interview kayo. There's already that distance given that you are in a virtual interview. So you have to bridge that gap in making sure that you can build that connection to your interviewer. That would even make you more calm, and it's going to help you be easy in answering questions and addressing the concerns and helping you out as well with the success of your virtual interview. Next here would be authentic. Now, when interviewing virtually kasi, you have the rare opportunity to speak in a relaxing and new environment and to show the interviewer who you are and why you are the best person for the job. Now, recruiters will look for how you express yourselves, to understand whether you're a good fit for the company, or use tools like your posture, smile, focus, interview preparations to convey your confidence, personality as it relates to the position. Now, of course, when we're going to be in a virtual interview, we have to present ourselves. We have to show them our skills, let them know what we can do and how we do things. And when we say authenticity kasi or be authentic, you're not going to be sharing the skills of your friends, your colleagues, your classmates. You're going to be sharing your personal skills and your assets and why you are fit for the job and for the role. Kumbaga, nagbubuhat ng sariling bangko. Ganun siya. So, this is a rare opportunity when doing the virtual interview kasi kayo lang mag-isa. So you have to make sure that you can lift yourself up and making sure that they know what you can do and how you do things and what difference you can make as well if they hire you for that specific post or job that you're applying for. So remember, every one of us have their own authentic ways of sharing their insights, their ideas, their personalities, and their skills. Use that to your advantage to ensure that your interviewer would know how important this job posting or your interview is for you and how committed you are in the interview that you are joining. Lastly, here would be follow up. Now, it doesn't mean that you are being interviewed virtually that you're not going to follow up na. Of course, it's very typical for us Filipinos when we go into an interview tapos wala tayong na-receive na feedback or wala tayong na-receive na notification. We're just going to assume na, hindi ako pumasa. Or, okay, sige, it's time to search or to look for another company or to another post. You have to remember in a corporate world or in the business world, when you're going to be interviewed, you won't be getting the results within 24 hours. It's not that normal to get the results in 24 hours because there are certain evaluations that they have to conduct pa. And it's not going to be bad for you as well if you're going to follow up. We are very used to kasi assuming things. Sino yung mga nag-a-assume dyan ng mga bagay-bagay? Do not rely on assuming things na siguro hindi ako tinext or hindi ako tinawagan or walang email, baka nag-fail na ako. Mahilig tayo sa baka. It's okay to follow up. It's natural, it's normal to follow up. Actually, it's going to be a positive result for you if you follow up. Hindi para mangulit ha. I mean, mag-follow up pero wag naman mangulit. You can follow up after at least 24 hours of the interview. You can maybe start it off by saying or by thanking the interviewer and for letting them know that you are available if they have any additional questions or if they have any concerns that they'd like to raise with you regarding your interview. And just simply follow up with the results. Kasi interviewers naman would usually respond to you then if they're still evaluating and discussing your application. That's okay. That's normal. Okay lang mag-follow up. It's not going to be bad for your image. It's not going to be bad for your reputation. And it's going to be even more positive sa inyo kasi it will just show how committed you are and how you're interested you are with the post or the job that you're applying for. So, wag tayong mahiya, wag matakot if mag-follow up. That's absolutely okay. Kasi it's always part of the process naman. And it's not bad if we do that. So, one advice na maybe I can give or I can share to everyone here, not just for virtual interviews, but for face-to-face interviews. So, when you are going to be scheduled for an interview, especially if it's virtual, you have to be there in the interview or whatever program or application they're using. Maybe it's Teams, or MS Teams, Google Meet, or Zoom. You have to be in the link or in the program at least 5 to 10 minutes prior to your schedule. Basically, what I'm saying is wag kayong malate. So, if sa relationship natin or if we're looking for a partner, di ba usually we check for red flags. It's the same thing when we're looking for applicants or candidates as well. We are checking for red flags. And major red flag dyan is yung attendance. If you are late. Tendency kasi, if you are late in the interview, and if it's not something na very emergency naman, if you are late in the interview, of course, it would raise a red flag given na interview pa nga lang, na late ka na. How much more if you get hired in that job, is there a possibility na malilate ka din or magkakaproblema tayo sa attendance mo? In the corporate world, it's very important for you guys to really show up and be present on time. For my case nga, for my people, my trainers as well, across the Philippines to have from Luzon to Mindanao, I always ask them to be at least 30 minutes early before their shift. Kasi you have to prepare eh. You have to prepare your daily task, your daily reports, your daily trackers that you need to update. You have to have it prepared beforehand. And that's the same thing for your interview. You have to prepare yourself. You have to check working ba yung tools mo kasi you're not going to be given the time to check your tools if it's working during the scheduled interview na. So checking it beforehand, making sure that your microphone is working, your camera is working, hindi naririnig yung background noise, walang distraction sa likod mo, your environment is conducive, and that's going to really help you get a better result of your interview as well. So again, pinaka-important na tip dyan is to not be late at all. Okay? Now, that's it for me actually. You can actually send your resumes to jobs180.com/VXI. We have a lot of job openings right now, and it's best for you guys to try it out because of course we have administrative tasks and agent roles that is open. We even have team leader roles as well that is currently open right now in our company, and that's from Luzon to Mindanao still. So feel free to send in your resumes if you'd like to work with us. And you can also visit our social media page. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Just look for at VXIPH to know more about our company, our job openings, and what we offer as well from VXI. That's it for me today. Thank you so much as well for joining us.
Thank you so much, B. So, to our audience, we are now again opening the floor for questions. So, if we have questions regarding the topic, especially for the graduating students, ayan, so malapit na, konti na lang. Yan, so ngayon pa lang dapat nagpe-prepare na or na nagre-ready na for the interviews, be it face-to-face or virtual. So, ngayon kasi with the limitations because of pandemic pa rin, though hindi na ganun kalala yung situation, pero most of the companies opt na for virtual interviews. Am I right, Andy? So, while waiting for questions, I have a few questions here lang. So, first question is, how can we make or how can a candidate make a lasting impression in a virtual interview considering the limitations of not being physically present?
One thing that you can really leave a mark in your virtual interview is really showing confidence in your interview. As you've mentioned, since the interview is conducted virtually, it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to show confidence to your interviewer, right? But if you are confident in how you speak, how you present yourself, how you appear to the virtual interview, of course, that's really going to leave a mark as well with your interviewer. So we always say this to our applicants, even in face to face, confidence is definitely the key to getting a successful result.
Thank you. So, talking about confidence, medyo gas-gas na yung question. Pero, for those freshies na first time marinig, how about being being too confident during the
Mhm.
interview? Is it a bad thing or a good thing?
Well, it depends, to be honest. I mean, showing confidence and being too overconfident really depends on how you're going to present yourself na. Kasi there are some times na yung answer natin, if you're too confident, it would sound a bit, how do I say this? Probably rude na pakinggan if we're too confident ha. So as a applicant or as someone who's still applying for a job, you still have to show that level of respect. We can be confident with showing respect to whoever is interviewing us and respect as well that you are still being interviewed. You can be confident in and be respectful at the same time.
Mm. How about those candidates that are being overly polite during the interview? 'Di ba po kapag mga freshies ganyan, 'di ba? First
Mm,
time, ayan. So very very polite pa tong mga
yeah.
interviewees na 'to, eh. So how do you handle those type of red flag po ba siya sa part ng interviewer?
Mm-mm. No, it's not really a red flag. I won't say it's a red flag. But thank you. Actually, is this is a great question for our freshies here. Then,
Mm.
being over polite is okay, But you have to also find a way na you can limit yourself lang ha. When
Mhm.
answering kasi questions, especially in a BPO industry, when you're going to answer question and if you're too polite, we normally end up like ending our sentence with po always. Yes po. I can definitely say po. Ganun yung usually nasagot natin. But in a BPO setting kasi, you have to limit yung even yung po and opo. Kasi we have to speak in English during our interviews. So you can be polite still, but at least when you are being asked questions na, try to limit the usage of po and opo. Kasi sometimes that may be a factor. But in other corporate businesses naman, it's okay just to make sure lang na hindi siya maging ano din, overbearing na yung politeness din natin.
All right. So thank you so much. Miss Uni, do you have question for me?
Um, sure, ma'am. I have one questions. One questions. One too many. So, my
Only one.
first question is, what are indications that the interview is successful po?
Actually, you can see the posture as well of your interviewer. I mean, there are sometimes, especially if it's virtual, you can see the facial reactions as well if you're interviewers. Sometimes you can see the eyebrow raising or yung smile nila when you answer. So you can see there na medyo positive yung nagiging result ng mga sagot mo or ng mga answers mo during your interview. And if it's a successful interview as well, the usually the closing remarks of the interviewer is going to like be a positive message for you. Yun yung usual hint doon. But setting of expectation for everyone as well, there are some companies or most of the companies pa din would give you a vague statement. So parang mahihirapan ka tuloy to identify if it's a positive result or not. What I can maybe say is you have to really just trust yourself lang. Because at the end of the day, having that trust in yourself that you did well in your interview would also result in a positive result in your interview. And it's okay if you won't get it the first time. I mean, I failed several times and I'm already here in this position right now. So do not lose that confidence in you kasi it's normal lang na hindi natin siya makuha the first time.
All right, thank you so much. So, B, may we ask how do you conduct interviews po nowadays after the pandemic? Is it still virtual interviews po, or do you ano na do on-site or face-to-face interviews?
Right now, VXI does it both. When we have
Mm-hmm.
walk-ins on site, we do it face to face, but oftentimes we do it virtual. Sometimes over the phone, sometimes we're using Microsoft Teams.
Have you encountered interviewees like negotiating na ma'am, mas prefer namin yung virtual interviews or mas preferred po namin yung on-site interviews? Pwede ba? Pwede ba makipag-negotiate yung interviewee in terms of interviews po?
Yes, actually, pwede naman yan. I mean, we have a lot of recruiters across the Philippines naman who can cater them. And you're correct.
Mhm.
There are some people or applicants who really prefers one thing over the other as well. So that's okay. So long as they are interested to apply and they're interested to be undergoing interview, that's okay naman. We can make necessary adjustments din naman.
Ayan. So, students from BSCAST, ayan. So, kahit nasan pa kayo, Forbes, ayan. So, if you're interested to apply or join the XI, ayan. So, yan, yung interview, diba? Sobrang dali na lang kahit na malayo pa kayo. Ayan. So,
Yeah.
Miss Eunice, I have a question for me.
I have one last question po. Like legit one lang po to. So, yung question ko po
All right.
is nag-discuss ka po kanina ng ano, yung follow-up ng mga employers po. So, how will we be able to follow up companies without sounding needy or makulit, and ano yung like span of time before we follow up sa kanila po, make follow-ups?
All right, thanks, Yumi. So, normally, diba, when you get scheduled for an interview, virtual interview, you will be receiving an email from the company. So that's usually the email from the interviewer as well. So right after your interview, the best time to make a follow up is 24 hours after the interview is conducted. You can simply send them an email. If nag-text naman sila sa'yo with your schedule, that's fine. You can even send a text message as well, just to make sure that you are still on top of things and that you're on top of your application. How to say it without sounding needy or makulit? You can maybe start off the message or the email by saying, "Hello, this is B. Thank you for your time yesterday. I appreciate having being interviewed by you. I just wanted to know if there's anything that you need to ensure that the status of the application is still ongoing." Parang ganun lang siya. Simplify it. Do not overdo as well your statements or your message para hindi ma-overwhelm yung interviewer din sa inyo.
All right. So thank you so much, P. And so one good thing we heard from VXI na yung application process very mabilis. And so for about 24 hours, you can actually follow up your applications na, diba? So some companies, syempre not mentioning na you have to wait for a week or
Yes.
diba, more than a week to follow up for your application. Ayan, so tapos yung
Totally
iba,
correct.
umabot na ng year kasi ang sabi tatawagan pero wala nang narinig dun sa na talagang tinake nila seriously yung advice na
Yes.
ng company.
I
Ayan,
mean,
so,
the good thing about VXI then is we have a 1 day process. So
mhm.
they can really just stay at home for 1 day or even on site for 1 day and they can secure na their jobs afterwards. So it's just really going to happen within the day.
Gano'n, 'di ba? Para mas mabilis makapag-move on,
Correct.
makahanap ka agad ng tatanggap sa'yo. Ayan, gano'n, 'di ba? Para at least isang araw lang yung heartache mo. Ayan, para mas
Yes.
maraming opportunities. Ayan. So thank you so much, B. So if, Miss Yumi, wala ng question, as well from the audience, walang questions. Thank you so much for joining us
Wala na
today,
po,
for
ma'am.
sharing your
Thank you
time
so
and your
much.
knowledge, your experiences, Miss B. So we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so much.
Thank you po.
Thank you. There you have it, guys. So again, if you're
Thank you
interested
so
to
much.
apply at VXI, you may send your resume link at www.jobs180.com/VXI. Again, so later we will be flashing your evaluation link, which will serve as your attendance for today's session. Again, both for Forbes and for BSCAST. So, Ms. Yumi,
So thank you so much, Miss Joyce and Miss B. Thank you so much. So students, if you have additional questions, you can email us at info@jobs180.com, or you may visit our Facebook and YouTube page or message us in Messenger. So ngayon alam na natin paano mag-apply for jobs gamit ang ating resume link, and we also know how to dress up, look good, and ace for our virtual interviews. And we are on to our last two speakers, and now we will know how companies hire for work from home jobs. So our third speaker will be discussing how companies hire for work from home jobs, and she took up Bachelor of Science in Tourism Management at Trinity University of Asia. She has 2 years of working experience as an online ESL tutor for Chinese, Taiwanese, and Japanese learners, and she is currently working as a sourcing specialist of the candidate engagement team in Inspiro, Realia Incorporated. So let us all welcome with virtual warm of applause, Miss Chloe and Guevarra. Ma'am, we can test your screen na po if you are ready.
Hi,
hi, Miss Chloe. Good morning.
hi, Miss Joyce, and hi, Miss Yumi.
Good
Good
morning
morning.
po.
Good morning. Ma'am, you may now share your screen.
All right, all right. Can you see it na po?
Yes, ma'am, it's up. So if you're ready, we'll leave you to it. We'll be back after 20 minutes for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Chloe.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so good morning, everyone. And yeah, I would just like to thank Jobs 180 for inviting Inspiro for this event. All right, so today I'll be discussing with you guys how companies hire for work from home jobs. Okay, so first I'll just have some introduction about work from home. So, work from home is a concept where employees can perform their work from home using approved company assets, policies, and tools. So, working from home offers flexible working hours to employees, and the employer's work is made easy. So, working from home helps ensure work life balance for employees and also helps the companies to get the work done. So, today, most of employers offer this option to their employees. And work from home is a modern work approach enabled through internet and mobility in which, regardless of an individual's location, work can be done. So, work from home is also known as working remotely or telecommuting, which implies that the employee is working from a remote location, usually at home. All right. So with the rise in remote work opportunities, more and more companies are embracing the concept of work from home jobs. However, hiring for this position requires a different approach than traditional in-office process. So before the pandemic hits, most of the process of the companies are held on site or face to face, right? So from the initial interview up to the final interview, you need to visit the site location or the office location. So with this one, there are a lot of factors you need to consider because first, going to the site. So you need to consider the travel time and your transportation expenses. And also, there will be times where you need to stay a couple of hours inside the site. So, of course, another expense for your food. Of course, you need to eat so that you will have the energy while taking the interview on site. So, yeah, so it's kind of like a hassle, but it's not like it's a bad thing. It also shows that if you're going on site to apply, it means that you are really interested in the job and want to be hired. Okay, but now in the new normal, everything now can be conducted virtually. So now applying online is a breeze. So because there are a lot of platforms and portals where you can send your application online. And one of our recruitment sources where we source most of our applicants is through digital. So this include social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and such. We also have YouTube, and then online job portals such as JobStreet, Indeed, and of course also here in Jobs 180. So yeah, companies must consider also various factors, so such as remote communication skills when hiring. We also need to see their self motivation and their technological proficiency. So when evaluating candidates for work from home position. Okay, so next is the hiring process. So, of course, today, mainstream hiring is overall replaced by online recruitment processes. So, the computer simulated virtual software now facilitates global hiring. So, primarily known as the virtual platforms. So, the virtual world allows employers to expand their reach to remote locations and particularly look for the right candidates. So, in this one, of course, you need to also do your research on what virtual platform will be used for your interview. So, we actually have a lot of virtual platforms such as video conferencing apps like MS Teams, Google Meet, Zoom, Skype, and such. And we also need to know some messaging apps. So, because I think SMS right now, well, for me, it's really hard to communicate sometimes to applicants with just SMS or through text because sometimes they don't have the load. Um, and so I am always suggesting applicants to download Viber or WhatsApp for a much easier communication. Okay. And then, so yeah, ask for the interviewer what is the virtual or the platform that will be used so you can download it ahead of time and also that you can master how to use that tool. Okay. And also another thing to consider is since it's going to be a virtual process, you will need to know if you're going to need a desktop, a laptop, or using a phone will be fine. Because not everyone really has a desktop or a laptop at home, right? So ahead of time, ask your interviewer if it will be fine to just use your phone. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about the hiring process. So first, here in Inspiro, the first process is the initial screening or the initial interview. So here we check your resume or the information that you have sent through our online platforms. And then with that, now we have an idea on where we can profile your application. Okay, then next, our initial screening or initial interview is conducted only over the phone. So yeah. So here, during the initial screening, we ask about your commitment. Okay, so we're gonna ask if you're currently enrolled, if you are um, currently employed, or will you be able to work full time, or if you can commute to work from your home to going to the site. But if it's gonna be for a work from home, of course, we need to check if you have certain area in your home where you can place or be your workplace or work area. Okay, and another thing that we ask is if you have your own equipment. Yeah, so sometimes we are allowing applicants to have their own device, or we can deploy them a company issued device if in case they don't have their own device. Okay, then next we also ask for the salary, what is their expected salary, and if they are going to be okay with the offer that we have. Then next is the shift. Of course, we're going to ask you if you are okay with the schedules that we have. So usually here in Inspiro, our schedule is shifting. So we're gonna ask if you're fine with shifting schedule, if you're okay working on holidays, on weekends, and even working on night shift or graveyard for our agent post. And next is the glaring communication problem. So here we also gauge your communication skills. Okay, so we are looking. We're gonna observe your grammar, your usage of grammar, your sentence construction, your thought organization, and like your pronunciation, the P and F, B and V, the usual mistakes that applicants do. So yeah, so that is for our initial screening. Now, if you passed our initial screening, the next process will be the assessment. So yeah, our assessments too are conducted virtually. So first is the typing speed. So for our typing test, yeah. So for the typing test, the only option for this one is you need to do this on laptop or a desktop, because you cannot actually do the typing test on phone. Okay. The next, we will send you a link via your email or your Viber account for you to do some competency inventory, like the aptitude, customer service, digital literacy, and sales knowledge test. Okay, so this is like an online assessment or an online test that you need to answer. Then once you're done with that, it will be the role play assessment next. So this is like the mock call. So the mock call will be conducted, it's either via Google Meet or via MS Teams. Okay, then next, if you pass the assessment, then you are for final interview. So our final interview will be conducted by our managers. So yeah, this is the targeted selection interviews that measures adaptability, stress tolerance, quality standards, and motivational fit. So again, we also use a video conferencing app here like Google Meet or MS Teams. And next, if you pass the final interview, then you are now for job offer and pre-hire staging. So here, this is the contract signing, discussion of requirements, job preview, touch base with training and operations. Yeah, so again, also the job offer can be conducted virtually. You just need to sign this with your e-signature. Okay, and next is onboarding. So here we will conduct the new employee orientation and then endorsement to training. Yeah, so that is the hiring process that we have here in Inspiro. So everything can be done also virtually. Okay, then next is I'm just gonna give you some tips on acing your virtual. Okay, so first, let's talk about this one. So you need to do a test run with your device and check your internet connection. So this is really important because in this day and age, technology can be overwhelming. So with online interviews, especially, you need to feel comfortable using whichever method your employee prefers. May it be, yeah, here in Inspiro, we usually use Google Meet and MS Teams. Yeah, so once you're comfortable with the program you'll be using, then it's a good idea to test your internet connection as well as your audio, your sound, and your camera to make sure everything works properly. And in addition, be sure to find an area with sufficient lighting so that those conducting the interview can see you clearly. Okay, the next is you need set the scene and minimize distraction. So yeah, one of the downside of doing virtual interview is there are a lot of distractions. So yeah, with this, you need to, while testing your device, determine where to do the interview. So you need to find a room again with good lighting, preferably near a window or a blank wall, to guarantee that you're the focal point of the conversation. So if possible, sit facing a window because natural light is always the best. Yeah, also when we're taking selfies, right, natural light gives you this glow. All right, then next, whether you sit on your living room or in your home office, you need to tidy up your surroundings. Of course, it's hard to convince employers that you are detail oriented and organized when there's like a mess visible on the screen. Okay, and another thing, you need to place your computer on a table or a desk. So set your and your camera should be at eye level. Okay, and you once you are settled, you will eliminate all the distraction. So turn off your TV, silence your cell phone, and close nearby windows so that the outside noise will be muffled. And then on your computer, of course, close any documents or programs or browser that you aren't using during the interview. Okay, and the next is you need to show up on time. Of course, this is one of the easiest way to start things off on the right foot. Okay, so you need to show up on time. Well, you don't really need to log or be 15 minutes early like you would when arriving for an in office or face to face interview. But definitely enter the video chat or the platform promptly at the set start time. But of course, you still need to be a little early, like that, around 5 to 10 minutes before the start time, to ensure that everything goes smoothly, and make sure that you got the correct software loaded, and consider a test call with a trusted friend to work out any kinks in your connection so that there won't be any delay during your interview. Okay, the next is you need to prepare in advance. So, as with an interviewer, you'll get the best result if you take time to prepare in advance. So, just because you are in front of your computer doesn't mean you should rely on the ability to quickly look up for answers or rely for pre-written answers you can refer to. So of course you should prepare so you can have a natural conversation without clicking around or rummaging through your notes. So so that it doesn't seem like unnatural. Okay. So prepare the same way you would prepare for a face-to-face interview. So yeah, you need to plan your answers for commonly asked questions. No need to really memorize the answer for this commonly asked questions. You just need to familiarize yourself and know what will be coming or what will be the question. Okay, the next is you also need to research about the company. It's a plus points, and you need to carefully read the job descriptions, noting your relevant qualifications, and of course your skills that you can tell the employee. or your interviewer, sorry. So also prepare relevant examples of your achievements and experiences. Then next is you need to dress for success. Yeah, so make sure that you look polished and professional. At least up the top. So we all know naman na when doing a video conferencing call, upper body lang naman yung nakikita. So at least at up top, you need to dress nicely and neatly. And you can wear something smart casual or something like this with a collar, a bottom up shirt, or a blouse. Okay, so it's not necessary to also wear something like a pants. So up the top, it's just okay. Okay, then of course, be sure to groom yourself as well. For women, of course, wear some makeup. For men, tidy up your hair because this will make a great impression with your interviewer. But wearing clothes that and also wearing clothes that make you feel confident will also help you get your head in the game. And of course, first impressions matter. Remember that. And your appearance can really make or break yours. So next is you need to appear poised and professional because interviewing via phone or video limits the ability to communicate with body language. So it is important to present yourself in a poised and professional manner. So for example, if you get an unexpected question, make sure to stay calm and take a moment to collect your thoughts. Don't make it look like you are panicking. Okay, so as much as possible, just smile. Don't let them know that you're panicking. Okay, then sit up straight and ensure your camera is at eye level. Okay. Then next is you need to stay focused and visibly engaged. Of course, so one way to show your interviewer that you're motivated and engaged through virtual is by practicing active listening. So of course, you need to fully understand what is the interviewer is telling you or asking you, because sometimes if we're too nervous or if we don't have this active listening skills, their question is just going inside one ear then out of the other ear. So yeah, please practice your active listening. So well, in this one, you need to consider nodding your head to give affirmations of understanding while they talk, and asking clarifying questions when necessary. So it is also important to write down notes so you can jot down questions or key takeaways from the interview without having to disrupt the flow of the conversation with loud typing. Yeah, because I think most of us here mahilig tayo sa mechanical keyboard or yung may mga keyboard na masarap sa tenga yan. So as much as possible, have a pen and paper beside you. All right, and then next is you need to be yourself, of course. So a key task of a recruiter is determining whether you would be a good fit for the company's culture. So this can be challenging during a virtual interview because there is a physical disconnect. So it's more difficult for the interviewer to understand your enthusiasm through the screen. So make sure you are expressive when answering questions, and be lively. Always smile. Okay. And some people will be able to tell if your vibe fits their company right off the bat. So give them reason to push you through the second round of interviews by shining a light on how you can help the organization. All right, so I guess that's it for me. So guys, if you are interested, you can visit www.jobs180.com/Inspiro. We also have Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter page to know more of the latest about the company. Yeah, so I guess that's it. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So thank you so much, Ms. Chloe, for discussing about hiring for work from home jobs. So to our audience, we again open the floor for questions. So if you have questions regarding the topic, so please kindly post your questions in the comment section. Huwag po kayong mahiyang magtanong. This is your chance to ask. Ayan. So we still have two speakers left. One speaker left after Miss Chloe, syempre. Ayan, so take the time to ask questions, guys. So, yung mga bagay na curious kayo about applying for a job, especially now that most of job applications are done virtually na. So, if you have questions, ayan, so please feel free to post your questions in the comment section. Ayan. So while waiting for questions, Miss Chloe, I'll be asking a few questions na lang po muna. So first is that um, for Inspiro po, how do you assess a candidate's suitability for remote work during the hiring process? Since the steps involving po in this kind of hiring process is kind of different from the traditional um, one or previous process po. So that's it. That's a question. I hope may sense yung question ko. And
All right. So yeah, so since everything now is done virtually, of course, one of the process that or one of the things na kailangan ng applicant is they need to have a device. So that is like the most important thing that they need to have a device. So even a phone is just okay, but make sure that that kind of phone will be able to um have the platform needed for the certain process. Like
mhm.
an Android will do or an iPhone will do, as long as it has like a camera, a speaker, where they can download maybe Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, and other virtual platforms that are now widely used.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. So another question is, are there specific qualifications or skills that companies look for when hiring for remote jobs? Or may certain traits ba dapat yung tao na to para mag-work siya remotely? Ayan, so successful mag-work remotely. Ayan.
Yeah, actually, it will depend on the campaign, but usually, what we're gauging here is the communication skills and if they have the ability to work from home. So we're gonna ask if they have an area in their house, like a quiet place, where they can set up, and if they have the device. So in our company, there is a campaign where you can bring your own device, or we can provide the um, the device to them. So for usually for the device that they own, we ask certain specifications of the laptop, such as the processor type, the RAM, and the storage capacity. And if they also have like a noise canceling headset and a working microphone. Yeah, so those are the things that we consider when hiring for a work from home position.
All right, so thank you so much, Miss Chloe, for answering that one. Another question is, how do you evaluate a candidate's time management and self-discipline skills for remote work? Since virtual, mas mahirap i-assess yung aplikante or yung employee. So, what are your ano po, tawag dito, style or process to ayan to assess the candidate?
Yeah, actually, it's a really hard thing to do to monitor. Yeah, one of the challenges for work from home jobs is monitoring the work of the employee. Yeah, so for this one, I think if they are now starting the job, there are specific tools na pinapa-download sa kanila so that they can monitor what they are doing during work. So yeah, I think that is the thing that they do mostly for our agents that are working from home.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Chloe. So Miss Yumi, they have question for Miss Chloe. Since nabanggit niya din kanina, di ba, added information about virtual interview. So do you have questions for that?
Yes po,
Miss
Miss
Yumi?
Joyce. Kanina kasi ma'am na rin na ano ko po sa presentation niyo, um, about po sa questions pagdating sa as a job seeker. So, as a job seeker po, ma'am, what questions should we ask the employer? Like when the portion comes na tatanungin na ng employer yung do you have questions, and ano po yung mga most common questions na nai-encounter niyo po from a job seeker po?
All right. So yeah, most of the questions from my experience, they are asking about how is the work environment in the company. Yes. So those are one thing that they ask, and also they're asking about the salary too. Of course, they want to know what's the range of the or what's salary range they're gonna expect. But usually, we're discussing it naman then during the initial interview. But then, of course, they want to make sure what to expect. And what else are they asking? Yes, they are also always asking about the schedule of the work. Is it going to be day shift? Is it going to be night shift? But yeah, my only answer for that one is most of our accounts or most of the campaigns here are shifting schedule. So it's up to the operations. What will be your schedule? So yeah.
Okay po. So
All
thank you
right.
so much. Follow up, may follow up question pa ako, ma'am. Tungkol po dun sa like yung pag-ask ng salary question. How do we ask that question without sounding like medyo rude sa employer po natin?
All right. So for that one, I think of course don't make it sound like it's rude nga. So you just need to ask may I know what would be the salary range. So don't ask for the specific range. So just say na lang na what is the range for this specific position. Yan pa.
All right, so I think there's a bit delay
Sige po.
and
Thank you
part
so
on the
much.
part of Miss Yumi. So thank you so much, Miss Chloe, for answering all our questions. But I think
Yes
no
po.
more questions from the audience. So we won't keep you any longer since we are also time bound. So thank you so much for answering all our questions. So if you're interested to know more about Inspiro, guys, you may visit or you may apply online using your resume link through www.jobs180.com/inspire. So thank you so much, Miss Chloe, for sharing your time and your experience for today's session. So we wish to have you on our next set of webinars. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Miss
so much
Chloe.
too. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, Miss Chloe.
Yes, Miss Yumi.
So wow, partner, no, companies are really adapting to the new normal, no, and they are not just doing the traditional hiring process, but also my online na today. And job seekers can also choose to work at offices or work from home. So far, what we have learned today is how to apply to jobs using resume link, how to dress up and ace our virtual interviews, and how companies hire for work from home jobs. So for our last topic, which I know will be as useful as the first three topics, we will be learning about how to manage our stress. So may I introduce to you our fourth speaker with the topic how to manage stress. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Psychology at San Sebastian College, Recoletos de Cavite, and she has been working as an HR professional for 4 years at Innodata Knowledge Services Incorporated, which is one of the pioneers of work from home arrangement with flexible schedule and highly promotes work-life balance. So let us all welcome Miss Shena Marie Filomeno, the Talent Acquisition Lead Associate of Innodata Knowledge Services Incorporated. So good morning po, Miss Sheena.
Hello, good morning. Good morning,
Hi, Miss
everyone. Good
Shena. Good
morning, Joyce and
morning.
Yumi.
Nice to see you
Morning.
again po.
Yes.
And ma'am, you may not test your share.
Okay. I will be sharing my screen.
Again to our audience. So if you have questions, so please do not hesitate to ask questions. You may post your questions on the comment section. And Miss Shena, it's up. So if you're ready, I will leave it with. We'll be back after your presentation for the Q&A. Good luck, Miss Shena.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So again, I am Shena Filomeno. So I am a representative of Innodata Knowledge Services Inc. So it's a bit different from the presentation earlier. So it is something to do. It is something a bit personal for us students and also to those working right now. So it is about how are you going to manage stress. Okay, so very relevant siya since I know a lot of us are working or a lot of us are experiencing stress. So, yan. I hope that after this presentation, makahelp sa inyo or at least at some point, makatulong sa inyo to reduce the stress that you are feeling right now. Okay. So before we tackle the topic stress and the tips that I am going to give you, so let's assess first ourselves. So what are you feeling right now? So maybe at some point you feel burned out, tired, lost, unproductive, and then lastly you feel unmotivated. Okay, so maybe you feel one of these, two of these, or all of these. But I would like to remind everyone that feeling these things are valid. So kung ano man yung tumatakbo sa isip natin ngayon, so kung ano man yung nararamdaman natin as of the moment, it's valid. Okay, it's okay to feel that way. Okay. So, for the signs that you are stressed, so check nyo yan or assess nyo yung mga sarili nyo, alin na ba dito yung mga nararamdaman nyo ngayon or na-experience nyo. The first one is frequent headache. So, yung pagsakit ng ulo natin. Okay? Kahit walang dahilan. So, maybe sa sobrang pag-iisip natin or sa dami tumatakbo sa isip natin, sumasakit na yung ulo natin. The second one is nervous stomach. So, pagsakit ng tiyan natin, kahit walang dahilan. So, kahit sabihin natin na hindi naman tayo nalilipasan ng gutom, wala tayong nakain na masama, pero still, sumasakit pa din yung tiyan natin. The third one is change in appetite. So, nawawalan tayo ng gana or may tendency naman na mag-overeat tayo. So, it can be a sign of stress. The number 4 is rapid breathing. When we say rapid breathing, mabilis or bumibilis yung paghinga natin. So it's not normal. And then the next one is dissatisfaction. So when it comes to this, we can say that even we are experiencing good things or small wins or something na dapat nating i-celebrate, we can still feel na it's not enough. So we are not satisfied with the achievements that we have, kahit maliit siya. And then the next one is anger. So, anger, and then the seventh one is irritability. So, kung before, jolly tayo, we get along well with other people. So, dahil nga stress tayo, there is some tendency na mabilis na tayong magalit. So, naiirita na tayo kahit sa kalit-liit na bagay. Okay, which is not normal. Okay, the next one is sweaty palms. So, yung pagbabasa or parang pagpasma or namamawis yung mga kamay natin. So, it can be sign of stress. And then, fatigue. So, kahit wala tayong ginawa buong araw, kahit sabihin natin nakahiga lang tayo sa buong araw, pero feeling natin pagod na pagod pa rin tayo. Then, insomnia, dahil nga stress tayo, it affects our sleep. So, hindi na tayo nakakatulog ng kumpleto, hindi na tayo, or kumbaga kulang na yung tulog natin, or there are sometimes hindi talaga tayo nakakatulog at some point. 11 is rapid heart rate, so pagbilis ng tibok ng puso natin. And then, the 12 one is depression. So, it can lead us to excessive loneliness or extreme sadness. And then the last one is inability to concentrate. So wala na tayong focus sa mga dapat nating gawin, especially yung sa mga importanteng need nating gawin. Okay, so as per Herbert Freudenberger and Gail North, so we have these stages of stress syndrome. Okay, so the first one is the excessive drive or ambition. So bakit nga ba siya naging phase ng or stage ng stress? Dapat nga ambitious tayo or dapat nga ganado tayo to achieve our goals. Pero it can lead us stress or it can be stressful, especially to those people na nagsa-start ng new career or kumbaga meron silang need na importanteng i-achieve, and then it can lead us to burnout. Okay? So masama din pala daw yung excessive drive or ambition. And then the next one is pushing yourself to work harder. So dahil nga meron tayong excessive drive and ambition, we tend to work beyond the limit, beyond our limit. So, dahil nga gustong-gusto nating ma-achieve yung isang bagay, hindi natin alam na nako-compensate na pala yung sarili natin, or it affects our mental health, or it affects our physical health. And then the third one is neglecting your own needs. So, at this point, nalilimutan mo na yung sarili mo. Kumbaga, nalilimutan mo ng maligo, nalilimutan mo ng matulog, hindi ka na nakakapag-exercise, nagsistress eating ka na, or kumbaga, hindi ka na nakakakain sa tama. So, hindi mo na napapansin yon, which is, of course, it is bad for our health. The fourth one is displacement of conflict. So, for this time, instead of acknowledging that you're pushing yourself to the max, you blame the people around you for your troubles. So since we are doing something beyond our limit, and then nag-result siya sa hindi natin inaasahan, or sa hindi natin ina-expect na result, there will be a time na sisisihin na natin yung mga taong nakapaligid sa atin. Imbes na sisihin natin yung sarili natin, kasi nga tayo naman yung nag-decide doon, tayo naman yung gumagawa ng sarili nating way to achieve our ambitions. Okay? And then, the fifth one is no time for non-work related needs. So, aside from neglecting yourself, you begin to neglect also the people around you. So, hindi ka na nakaka-attend ng mga social gatherings. So, hindi mo na nami-meet yung friends mo, yung family mo. You totally shut down yourself to other people. Okay? And then, you think na yung mga events na yon, or talking to some people, lead us to, being hustled. So, nahahaselan ka na sa mga ganong bagay, which is dati hindi naman. Then the number 6 is denial. So impatience with those around you. Instead of taking responsibility for your behavior, you blame others, seeing them as incompetent, lazy, and overbearing. So just what I had mentioned earlier, that we tend to blame others kahit wala naman silang kinalaman doon sa ginagawa natin. Okay? So kumbaga may maisisi lang tayo. And hindi natin matanggap sa sarili natin na tayo yung may pagkukulang. Okay? And then, the seventh one is behavioral changes. So those on the road to burnout may become more aggressive and snap at loved ones for no reason. So ito na yung napagbubunto na natin ng galit yung mga tao sa paligid natin. Okay? Because when we are under stress, so kapag nakaka-feel tayo ng stress and anxiety, hindi na natin napapansin yung sarili natin. So, sino ba yung unang nakakapansin sa atin? Yung unang nakakapansin sa atin is yung mga tao around us. Okay? Pero instead of listening to them, we tend to snap to them. Nagagalit tayo. Or, kumbaga, parang nagiging aggressive tayo. So, sa kanila tayo galit instead of ourselves. Number 8 is depersonalization. So this is the time that you feel detached with your life and your ability to control life. So this is the time that you lost contact with the reality. You are under the bubble na stress, or kumbaga kung focus ka lang sa isang bagay na ginagawa mo na hindi mo napapansin na you lost contact na with the reality, or something na outside dun sa ambition mo. Okay? The ninth one is inner emptiness or anxiety. So, medyo papunta na tayo dun sa medyo malalang or extreme stress na, because you feel empty or anxious with a certain situation, and then also there will be a time na imbes na i-assess mo yung sarili mo or to seek help with others, ginagawa mo is you tend to use drugs, nagsusugal ka na, gambling, or overeating. So dito na tumatag yung minsan pag stress tayo, nag-overeating na tayo. Right? Nagsistress eating na tayo. which is very bad, of course, sa health natin. Then the 10th one is depression. So life loses its meaning and you begin to feel hopeless. So nasa extreme sadness na tayo. Then the last one is mental or physical collapse. So this can impact your ability to cope up. Mental health or medical attention may be necessary. So this is the time na it became serious. So this is the time that we need to seek professional help. Okay? So, dapat, kumbaga, hindi na nga tayo healthy physically, hindi rin tayo healthy mentally. So, kanino ba tayo dapat lalapit? Of course, dun sa professional para matulungan tayo kung ano ba yung dapat natin gawin. Okay. So, I have this list of some causes na nakakapagpa-stress sa isang estudyante. So, maybe some of people here nakagraduate na. So, of course naman, pinagdaanan na to. Maybe you can relate. So, here are some. So, the first one is academic pressure. So, this is kind of pressure na you need to excel academically. So, you need to perform well on exams, maintain high grades, and it can be significant source of stress. So, dahil nga gusto natin na ma-achieve, na mag-excel tayo sa school, pinipressure natin yung sarili natin or we tend to push ourselves beyond our limit just to achieve or just to, to succeed academically. Okay? The second one is heavy workloads. So, before, when I was a student, so, iniisip ko, ina-assess ko, bakit that time, nung nag-aaral ako, kaya na pagsasabay ko yung school, yung family, yung friends. Pero at some point, na mga nakakausap ko ngayon, yung kumbaga Gen Z na mga nag-aaral ngayon, most of them, sinasabi nila na ang hirap pagsabay-sabayin nung school, ng family, ng friends, or nawawalan talaga sila ng social life because of the pressure when it comes to deadlines, sa school, 'di ba? Especially nung nag-pandemic, so nag-iba talaga yung way ng school natin or ng pag-aaral natin kasi nagkaroon ng online class. So ngayon, unti-unti bumabalik na yung physical yung face-to-face class. So nagiging stressor siya sa mga estudyante. Okay. The next one is competitive environment. Okay. So I think merong connect dito si social media. So masyado na kasing exposed tayo sa social media. So that's why nakaka-build tayo ng tendency na to do well than the others. So nape-pressure tayo na pag-igihan yung ginagawa natin. Or nape-pressure tayo na dapat mas magaling ako dito or dapat at least may ma-achieve ako at this point. Okay? So, nakaka-cause siya ng stress sa atin, not only for the student, but of course, for all people. The next one is social pressure. So, social interactions and peer relationship can be a source of stress, particularly for students who experience bullying, peer pressure, and social isolation. So, kahit ngayon, marami pa din nakaka-experience ng bullying. Okay? So, yun, dagdag pressure din siya sa mga students. Number 5 is financial concern. So ito, at some point, importante siya or isa siya sa main point ng stress natin. Especially sa government or sa Pilipinas, sa Philippines, na you can get a good education if you have money. Okay? If you can invest sa magandang school, 'di ba? So it can be a stress for the students and at the same time for the parents. Kasi iisipin natin, saan ba tayo kukuha ng pambaon natin? Anong ibabayad natin sa tuition? Anong ibibili natin ng mga projects natin? So, 'di ba? Instead of instead na hindi na natin isipin yung education natin. So, ngayon na-realize natin na the education can be, it's a privilege now. Right? Okay. The sixth one is time management. So, poor time management skills can result in students feeling overwhelmed as they struggle to meet deadlines and fulfill obligation. So, ngayon, dapat magaling ka nang mag-manage ng oras mo. Kasi sa panahon ngayon, ang dami na natin gustong gawin. Okay? So, hindi siya achievable kung hindi tayo marunong mag-manage or kung hindi tayo marunong mag-prioritize ng mga dapat nating unahin sa hindi natin dapat unahin. Okay? The seven is expectations and future uncertainty. So, nasi-stress tayo dahil hindi natin alam kung anong mangyayari sa atin in the future. Okay? Especially now, punong-puno ng uncertainties ngayon. With a lot of things ang hindi natin nasigurado, lalo na nangyari yung pandemic. So, it can cause us stress. Then, iniisip natin, ano ba, after 5 years, may trabaho na ba ako? After 5 years, tapos na ba ako sa pag-aaral ko? Or after 5 years, successful na ba ako? So, iniisip din natin siya. Number 8 is mental health issues. So, students may experience stress due to underlying mental health conditions like anxiety, depression, which can be exacerbated by the challenges of academic life. So, before, hindi ganon ka-open yung mga tao when it comes to mental health. Pero ngayon, masasabi natin na hindi na siya ganun tabu na pag-usapan yung mental health. Pero masasabi natin siya na stress source kasi anyone can experience mental health issues. Okay? Kahit bata, teenager, kahit matanda, so lahat nakaka-experience ng anxiety, depression, 'di ba? And then the ninth one is lack of support. So insufficient support system both at home and school can leave students feeling isolated and unsupported in dealing with their stressors. So kumbaga, stress ka na sa madaming bagay, pero you feel na hindi ka sinusuportahan ng mga tao sa paligid mo. So kumbaga, nakakadagdag siya ng stress para sa atin. Instead na mabawasan yung stress natin, mas syempre nadadagdagan pa. Okay. So, doon sa mga stressors or sa stages na nabanggit ko kanina, it lead us to one of the main problem, especially for the students or sa mga tao na may goal, di ba? So, this is the procrastination. So, ano nga ba yung procrastination? So, it is a state in which one is delaying work on or completion of a task or project. Okay. So, dahil nga stress tayo, may tendency tayo na mag-delay ng mga bagay na importante nating need gawin. For example, as a student, sa schoolwork, so let's say binigay yung work ngayon or yung assignment ngayon, and then pasahan is next week. So dahil stress tayo, ang dami nating distractions or etc., dinedelay natin, bukas ko na lang gagawin, gantong araw ko na lang gagawin. In the end, kung kailan kinabukasan na yung pasahan, hindi mo siya nagawa. So, anong gagawin natin? Magka-cram tayo. So, magbilisan natin gagawin yon. So, ang tendency, imbis na makakuha tayo ng magandang grade or makakuha tayo ng magandang result, hindi siya mangyayari. Why? Kasi minadali natin. Kumbaga, hindi natin pinag-isipan, hindi natin ginawa ng mabuti, or sinayang natin yung oras na instead na ginawa na natin siya ng mas maaga, hindi natin siya ginawa. Right? So, kumbaga, nag-cram na tayo. Okay? So, same with the goals. So, if you have time now, if you have goals in life, if you have time now, or if you have the resources, you can do it now. And then eventually, makikita mo, ano pa ba yung mga need mong gawin so that you have still time, diba, to reach that certain goal. So, bakit nga pa tayo nagpo-procrastinate or why do people procrastinate? Number 1 is feeling overwhelmed. The next one is confusion. The third one is boredom. And then the fourth one is lack of motivation. And then the last one is distraction. So, kumbaga, it has something to do with ourselves then. Kasi, for example, for the lack of motivation, since we are anxious or since we are stressed, nalilimutan na natin or nawawala na sa atin yung thought na bakit ba natin ginagawa to or bakit ba natin gustong ma-achieve yung goal na yon, right? Kasi na-overpower na ng mga stressors yung isip natin. And then distractions, sa sobrang daming distractions ngayon sa mundo, sa paligid natin, hindi na natin alam kung ano yung mga dapat nating unahin gawin or ano yung mga importante nating need gawin. Pwedeng nadidistract ka sa social media, sa mga tao sa paligid mo, right? Or hindi nadidistract ka kasi sa sobrang daming gusto mong ma-achieve, right? Okay. So for the strategies on how to reduce your stress, so the first one that I can give you is to take control. So you need to manage your time instead of letting it manage you. Use a to-do list, follow a written plan, set goals, and follow through. Okay? So don't let that stress own you, or kumbaga, wag mong hayaan na ma-overpower ka ng stress na 'yon. So you can use a to-do list, lista mo lahat ng mga kailangan mong gawin, ng mga importante, enumerate mo siya or i-rank mo siya, ano ba yung mga importante ng gawin. Mas maganda kung may time frame para at least natatrack mo yung achievements mo or yung wins mo. Kahit small wins lang yan, importante. At least move forward yung mga gusto mong i-achieve. Okay? The second one is avoid procrastination. So again, if you have time now, you can do it now. And then along the way, habang may oras pa, you can plan or at least, di ba, meron kang time to navigate you have time to navigate your destination leading to your goals. The third one is take a break. So if you feel exhausted, if you feel burnout, it is very okay to take a break. So it can be a 15 minutes break, 30 minutes break. It's because taking a break is something na it is better to get away from the situation kahit short time lang. So once you tapos ka nang mag-break, so you can go back to the task feeling refreshed and ready to tackle whatever it is you have to do. So at least nakapagpahinga ka, so you have this drive to continue what you were doing. The next one is work on your attitude. So since stress ka nga, it changes your behavior. So it changes your behavior negatively. So what you need to do is to assess yourself ano yung mga dapat kong baguhin. Kahit hindi drastic change, paunti-unti, maganda pa din siya, magandang sign pa din siya. Then the next one is put things into perspective. Do not take yourself seriously or do not wag kayong maging harsh sa sarili nyo. Kahit mag-fail kayo or tingin nyo failure or fail yung ginagawa nyo, don't take it negatively. So pag tingin niya nag-fail na siya, so maybe it can be a wake-up call for you to do better. Okay? Wag niyong sisihin yung sarili nyo. Okay? Kasi it will make your actions ulit negatively kasi nga negative yung iniisip natin sa sarili natin. Then the next one is think positively. So instead of counting your failures, sabi nga nila, imbes na bilangin natin yung mga pangit or yung mga maling nangyayari, try to count the good things that is happening to you. Kasi minsan din na natin napapansin yung mga mabubuting or yung blessing na meron tayo. Maybe you can start your day counting your blessing by saying thank you na gumising ka or saying thank you for a cup of coffee. It makes you feel calm and it makes you feel positive all throughout the day. Then if you think that your situation is getting worse, you can get help. You can seek help from professionals. You can seek help from the counselors, from the psychologists, from the psychiatrists, or to the doctors, right? Again, wag kayong mahihiya na mag-seek ng help sa mga professionals. Okay? Then lastly is keep in touch with your family. So maganda din na may naririnig tayong ibang perspective kasi maybe since sinasarili natin yung mga problema natin, yung kung ano yung nasa isip natin, yun yung naiisip din nating tama. But maybe makakakuha tayo ng ibang perspective at ibang options kung kakausapin natin yung mga tao sa paligid natin. You can bond with your siblings, with your family, with your cousins, with your friends, or etc. Okay. Then as a strategies for dealing with your stress, the first one is you need to join the crowd. Always remember na hindi lang ikaw ang stress sa mundo. Again, I am not invalidating your feelings, but always remember that there is someone around you dealing the same stress that you are feeling or maybe extreme stress than you. So dapat as long as you think that that everyone is experiencing stress sometimes. So hindi masamang i-acknowledge na hindi lang ako yung nasa-stress ngayong araw. Hindi lang ako yung nasa-stress sa buong mundo, right? And then the next one is talk to someone. Again, you need, maybe this is the time that you need to reconnect with the people around you. So maybe nung panahong stress na stress ka, nag-shutdown ka, hindi mo na kinakausap yung mga friends mo, yung mga classmates mo, baka maybe this is the time that you can reconnect with them. Okay? Or maybe you can find someone you trust and you can discuss the problems and look for solutions. Maybe they can help you. And then the next one is put it in perspective. So this is the only one small part of the rest of your life. So maybe that stress or that problem that you are dealing with, you are dealing right now is just 5% of your life. So kumbaga maliit na chunk lang siya ng buhay mo. Para pagkabisihan mo, para pagkatuunan mo ng pansin, 'di ba? So hindi lang isang problema yung nagde-define sa buhay mo ngayon. The next one is visualize it. You can sit comfortably and think of a favorite place. Saan ba yung favorite mo? Sa coffee shop, sa dagat, sa bundok, anywhere na tingin mong calming para sa'yo or makakapag-relax ka. And then you can imagine yourself in a successful situation. I believe in manifestation. So you need to manifest that you will be successful. You need to manifest something in your life. But of course, aside from manifesting, you also need to work hard. Okay? To work or to do something to achieve that goal. Hindi lang pwedeng puro manifest lang tayo. Dapat may ginagawa din tayo. Okay? The next one is breathe. So you can sit quietly, breathe deeply and slowly. It can be 5 to 6 seconds. And if you think that is already calming, and of course, the extra dose of oxygen, it increases your brain's thinking ability. So kapag calm ka, kapag napahinga mo yung utak mo, mas makakapag-isip ka ng maayos kung paano mo susolusyonan yung mga problema or kung paano ka mag-move forward. Okay? And then, go on a diet. So, guilty. Maraming guilty dito. But maybe it can help you to avoid or to reduce stress. You can, or dealing with stress if you eat light and avoiding sugars and then eating healthy. Yan. So, it can help you. Lighten up. Take responsibility with your feelings. If you get angry, take a break and then cool down before you act. Kumbaga sabi nga nila, huwag kang magdedesisyon habang galit ka. Kasi maybe yung decision na yun, pagsisisihan mo siya after. Use it. A little stress is a good thing. If you are experiencing small amount of anxiety, it can help to keep you active and alert. You can use it to increase your performance. And then some physical stress boosters, you can eat right, exercise regularly, and get plenty of rest. Magpahinga tayo kung kinakailangan. And then practice, you can build your confidence. If you're confident, of course, you are confident enough to face your problems, okay? Or you can face stress confidently. So here are the additional tips. So additional tips siya from me. So pwedeng mag-work din sa inyo kasi nag-work siya sa akin. So maybe you can adapt, you can take note. So the first one that I can give you is make a journal. So I am into writing or taking notes. So kapag may mga need akong i-achieve or need akong gawin, sinusulat ko siya para hindi ko siya makalimutan or natatrack ko, nasa na ba ako, nasa ang pace na ako ng goal ko. Or anything na naisip kong isulat or gawin. You can do a journal. Kahit a piece of paper sa cellphone mo, sa app, pwedeng mo yan gawin. And then the next one is dress for success. So if you make yourself pleasing, 'di ba? Nakaka-boost siya ng confidence, nakakabuhay siya ng nakakadagdag confidence kapag nagme-makeup tayo, kahit full body tint man 'yan, mag-blush on ka or magbihis ka ng maganda, kahit walang lakad, 'di ba? Nakaka-boost siya ng confidence or nakakagaan siya ng pakiramdam. And then you can explore different places. Baka naman nagmumukmuk ka na lang sa bahay nyo. Try to go out. You can go somewhere. Kahit malapit lang sa park, sa coffee shop, sa mall, kung saan mo man gusto pumunta. Basta something different doon sa lugar kung nasaan ka palagi. And then move, galaw-galaw. So maybe kung dito ka nag-work sa isang station, so lumipat ka sa sala, lumipat ka sa kusina or anything. Basta wag ka lang mag-stay sa iisang lugar. Okay? Kasi na-adapt natin yung parang environment or parang mood sa isang lugar. Put an end to your day. Okay? So this is very important, especially yung mga nung nag-online, nag-shift tayo sa online class, work from home. So need natin mag-set ng boundaries. So like kung ang tingin mo ang dapat hanggang alas 5 lang yung work mo, hanggang alas 5 lang. Para at least you have time after 5, you have time to do things na tingin mong makakapagpa-relax sa'yo. Pwede kang manood ng movies, makapag-Netflix, or makapaglaro ng games, right? And then, basta as long as you set boundaries with your time. Okay? And then the last one is eat good food. So it doesn't mean naman na mahal or sa restaurant or something. Eat good food or eat food na makakapagpakalma sa'yo or yung comfort food mo kasi it will make your mood better or lighter. Okay? So that's all from the stress management. But I would like to take this opportunity to at least introduce to you the Innodata. So I know you are from Bicol. So I know also some of you are familiar with Innodata. So yeah. So I would like to share with you that Innodata Knowledge Services Inc. is a certified great place to work. So bakit nga ba certified great place to work si Innodata? Is because number one, of course, the satisfactory level from our employees are high. So, ibig sabihin, masaya sila sa work nila, secure sila sa trabaho nila, at they can gain something sa Innodata. Number two is work from anywhere. So, we highly promote work-life balance. So, we offer a completely work from home setup. So, work from anywhere. Kahit nasa labas ka ng Pilipinas, pwede ka pong magtrabaho kay Innodata. And then lastly, pwede po kayong mag-work ng freelance sa Innodata. Kahit estudyante lang po kayo, kahit nasa bahay lang kayo or nanay kayo or kumbaga gusto niyo lang kumita ng extra, pwede po kayo mag-apply sa Innodata. Marami po kami freelance opportunities. So you just need to ito yung sample ng mga vacancies namin. So, itong language support and senior associate, so para po to sa mga taga Bicol, pwede po kayong mag-apply. Ayan yung email address. You can take a picture or screenshot para makapag-apply. Yan yung mga sample ng vacancies namin. And then, where to find us? You can search us through Facebook and LinkedIn. Andun din po yung mga vacancies namin. You can search Innodata Knowledge Services Inc. And then for the Jobs 180, you can drop your CVs or you can apply through jobs180.com/Innodata. And then if you want to send us a direct email or you can send us directly your CVs, you can email us. At talentacquisitionphilippines@innodata.com. Yun lang po. Thank you.
All right. So thank you so much, Miss Shena. Ayan, so to our audience, we are now opening the floor. Ayan, so if you have questions po, please feel free to post your questions on the comment section. So Miss Shena is our last speaker for today. So ayan, kung may mga questions na kayo, ito na last na, ask nyo na yan. Lagay nyo po sa comment section. Actually, there are two type of stress, diba? So we have eustress, the good stress, and the bad stress, which is this stress na more on discuss ni Shena, which is yung bad stress. So na talagang karamihan naman sa atin lahat or halos lahat tayo ay nakakaranas ng stress. Ayan. So if nakaka-relate kayo, ayan, diba? Ask nyo si Shena or lagay nyo sa comment section kung may questions kayo. So baka masagot ni Shena, baka si Shena yung maging liwanag dyan sa nararamdaman nyo or sa problema nyo ngayon. So while waiting for questions from the audience, Miss Shena, I have here Miss Yumi, my partner po. So she'll be asking you a few questions. Miss Yumi? I think you're on mute, Yumi. Yumi. Miss Shena, nagiginig niyo po siya.
Hindi po, nakamute ata
Ay,
siya.
Yumi, I
Ay,
think you're on
nakamute
mute.
pala. Sorry po.
Ayan.
Sorry po.
Yeah.
Ito ma'am.
If you can repeat your
Sorry po,
question.
hindi ko po namalayan. Okay, so yung question ko po, Miss Shena, is good morning pala po. Yung question ko po is, how can we effectively communicate our stressors and needs to friends, family, or colleagues for support?
Sorry, medyo choppy. medyo is medyo putol-putol.
Ay, sorry po, sige. Yung question ko po is, how can we effectively communicate our stressors and needs to friends, family, or colleagues for support?
Okay. So I know opening up with someone is not easy, especially pag mental health problems or mental health issues or stress, anxieties yung pag-uusapan. But I want to emphasize that sharing sharing your situation is one of the effective way para mawala yun or at least na mapag-usapan yon. What I want to tell everyone that you need to specify someone you really trust na tingin mo pagkakatiwalaan mo. So identify mo sa family mo, sa friends mo, sa kapatid mo, sino ba dun yung talagang tingin mo makakaintindi sa'yo. And then from there, you can share them your situation, and maybe from them makakuha ka ng other perspective, right? Kasi minsan kapag under stress tayo, akala natin tayo lang yung tama or yun lang yung option na meron tayo. Hindi natin alam na by asking someone or by sharing it to someone, mas makakakuha tayo ng other perspective or makakakuha tayo ng other option to solve our problems.
Ayan, so thank you so much. So tama naman po ma'am no na that we just need to share and someone to listen naman po sa mga problems in life po natin. And lastly po, yung question ko po ma'am is, when can we say na we need to seek professional help na in managing our stress?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I always say to people na you need to assess yourself first. You need to assess if you think na it affects you physically and then mentally. Kung hindi ka na nakaka-function ng mabuti or kung at a very important na factor is if you affect others. Okay? Kung naapektuhan na yung ibang tao sa paligid mo. So maybe that's the time, it's a wake-up call na mag-seek na ng professional help kasi hindi na siya healthy for you and the people around you.
So thank you so much ma'am. So there we have it guys. So if you're feeling stressed, so tingnan lang natin yung presentation ni Ma'am Shena kanina. We can watch it again in our live sa ating page. Or if you have any questions, pwede din nating i-message yung info@jobs180.com for additional information about how to manage stress. And thank you so much, Ma'am Shena, for joining us today. And we wish to have you on our next batch of webinars. And if you are interested at applying for a job at Innodata, just visit www.jobs180.com/Innodata. And students, again, if you have additional questions or clarifications, you can email us at info@jobs180.com or you may visit jobs180.com. So thank you so much, Miss Shena, for your time.
Thank you. Thank you,
We
everyone. Thank
really
you.
appreciate it, especially in these times. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank
So,
you.
wow, all I can say is that if this was my first time attending webinars like this would really help me in looking for jobs and managing myself not only in my outer appearance but also personally. So to our audience, thank you so much for attending and we hope that you have learned so much and yung mga things na learn nyo is really useful talaga in for your job applications and this would help you on your journey to the real world or to the adulting life. So if you have additional questions, don't hesitate to message us or to send us a message in our Facebook page, facebook.com/jobs180, or to email us at info@jobs180.com. So we are at the end of our program. Okay pa ba tayo dyan, partner?
Sure, partner, go ahead.
Okay, sige po. So to give us his closing remarks on behalf of Engineer Annalyn A. Madrid, the Vice President for Administration and Finance of Bicol State College of Applied Sciences and Technology, may we invite Engineer Antonio Ricardo T. Ayan, the Student Development Services Director of Bicol State College of Applied Sciences and Technology.
Thank you and good morning to all of us. Congratulations to you, graduating students, who took time to attend this very valuable activity. Of course, this is sponsored by Jobs 180, the SDS office, and your BGSC. You are now on the threshold of a new journey, and that is towards the world of work. And believe me, you need all the help you can get. So, kaya nga, I am congratulating you for attending this activity. As you apply for job, I am sure that you will meet so many challenges, and that includes facing your competitions. Imagine kung gaano kadami ang iyong magiging competition sa pag-apply ng job. Of course, we need to consider those that do not have jobs yet, ano? And of course, you have to consider also the number of graduating students na kasabay ninyo. Dagdag pa natin yung competition because of new technology such as the advent of the AI, no? But despite all of this, I am confident that you will get that job that you really want and that truly suit you. BSCAST has honed your talents and skills, and you may not seem aware of it now, but it is in you, waiting to be awakened. So I hope you are going to embrace your potentials and take a perspective to be a lifelong learner. Yan ang buzzword these days, ano? Lifelong learner. And I hope you will take every opportunity, and if there is none, then you are to create this opportunity. The world is waiting for you and the things you will do to make it a better place. So, in behalf of the BSCAST administration with our president, Dr. Alex H. Nabarosa, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to jobs180.com, of course, to Sir Kim Chua, Ma'am Joyce Katakutan, Ma'am Nam Maranan, Ma'am Yumi Abol, and the rest of its staff. To the wonderful resource speakers, thank you for the wisdoms you have imparted to our students. The support of the BGSC under its president, Ina Acabado, and of course, to our job placement coordinator, Kathleen Tanay. So, good luck everyone, and congratulations to all. Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much, Engineer Ricardo Ayan from BSCAST. Maraming salamat po for, ayan, so joining our webinar today, sir. Ayan, so maraming salamat po. And of course, ayan, so we wish to, ayan, collaborate again with BSCAST and sa mga susunod pang future webinars. Thank you so much, Engineer Ayan. Thank you po. All right, so kanina may question lang isa, so hindi natin napansin, apologies. Ayan, so for that, so for Miss Jonalyn, the question was, gusto lang namin i-address, so nakalimutan namin, sorry. Ayan, so how do anxiety differ from stress? Ayan, so yung stress na nararamdaman natin siya. So because of stressors. So may stressors kasi, may present na stressors. Yung anxiety, mas iba na yung level niya kasi mas persistent na yung excessive worries na nararamdaman mo that don't go away even in the absence of a stressor. So, ibig sabihin, yung anxiety, nararamdaman mo siya kahit wala kang stressor na nakikita or nararamdaman, compared dun sa stress na na-stress ka lang dahil merong nakapagpa-stress sa'yo. So, mas iba yung level ng anxiety compared sa stress. So, I hope ayan, I answered your questions. And of course, you may ask your guidance counselors. Ayan, so if meron kayong stress or anxiety na nararamdaman ngayon, it's better po na ngayon pa lang, nasa early stage pa lang yung mga stressors na yun, anxiety na yan, ay na-address ngayon pa lang estudyante kayo. So, huwag nyo nang palalain kasi yung effect or yung consequence ng mental issues na yan, iba yung magiging epekto sa mga pagdating ng araw. So ngayon pa lang, mas maganda ma-address yung mga concerns ninyo, especially mental health. Ayan. So thank you so much. I hope I answered your question. So yun lang, there you have it guys. We are done with the talk proper and I think we successfully tackled all the topics assigned for today's session. And please do not forget to evaluate this event. So, sabi ko nga po kanina, the evaluation will serve as your attendance for today's session. So, we will be flashing the link on your screen, and it will also be available at the comment section. So, for Forbes College, ayan, you may scan the QR for faster. Ayan, naka-up na pala yung screen. So, may delay lang on my. So, for Forbes, here's the eval link or you may scan the QR code. Same with BSCAST. Ayan. So, available din po online ang link or you can also scan yung QR para mas madali makapag-fill out ng form. So, again, please do evaluate. This will serve as your attendance for today's session. Miss Yumi?
So yes, Miss Joyce, thank you so much for attending everyone and staying all throughout the event. And we would also like to thank Forbes College and Bicol State College of Science and Technology for collaborating with jobs180.com, especially to Ma'am Kath and Ma'am Amy. And we hope that we have imparted insightful things that would help you as you embark on your journey to the world of work or to the adulting life.
All right. So please keep an eye out for the upcoming webinars we'll be hosting. And please don't forget to check out our Facebook page for the topics that will be covered. And feel free to attend any of our upcoming meetings as well. So if you think you missed this webinar, ayan, so pwede nyo pong balikan, pwede nyo panoorin later sa mga hindi nakapag-attend live. Merong problem sa connection. So you may visit our Facebook page or YouTube page for the recorded video of this webinar. So partner?
Yes, partner. Kaya pa ba? Okay pa ba tayo dyan, partner? So thank you so much, everyone. So jobs180.com is looking for interns. So for those of you who are interested, you can submit your resume link at jobs180.com/jobs180 or you may email us at info@jobs180.com.
All right. So again, if you're looking for OJT interns positions, and so you may create your resume link now at www.jobs180.com or you may email us at info@jobs180.com. So the program has been concluded. This is your host, Joyce Katakutan.
And Yumi Abul. And we will see you soon and have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
So thank you so
In this
much.
constantly changing world where businesses move at a rapid pace, Innodata solves the toughest challenges in any industry through human expertise and the power of technology. We are a community that thrives on a culture of collaboration, ideation, and innovation. And we want you to be part of our family. Your journey towards a meaningful and thriving career begins with us. Be part of the Inno community. We are Innodata.
Hi, welcome to Manulife IT Delivery Centres Asia, or MIT-DC. This is also MIT-DC. This is a MIT-DC office. We'll get to meet each other either here or virtually. They are MIT-DC. and their MIT-DC. Their MIT-DC? He's also MIT-DC. They like to pair program. You'll be working with them and with other people across Asia, Canada and North America as part of Manulife, a leading global financial services provider. Today, I'd like to introduce our high-performing team engagement framework. It is key to ensuring that MIT-DC is an enjoyable, rewarding and productive place to work. The framework is made up of 5 key elements. 1. A psychologically safe, accountable and productive environment, powered by Kaizen. 2. Management accountability, leaders listening and taking action on your feedback. 3. Shared values and a strategic understanding of our purpose in the company. 4. The employee needs hierarchy that ensures that you not only have what you need to do your work, but also recognition, a happy team dynamic, and individual growth. And finally, 5. Our engagement pulse check, or the Gallup survey, whose 36 questions ask, are our people leaders living up to their commitments? Let's go into each in a little more detail. A psychologically safe environment means that MIT-DC fosters an open workplace that encourages feedback. We express our ideas. We ask and give help. We act with integrity and learn from our mistakes. Kaizen is our methodology for this. Management accountability means that company leaders will listen, confirm, and action feedback at both an individual team and MIT-DC-wide level. Through Gallup, employee focus groups, town halls, retrospectives, and the daily performance dialogue. We're here to listen. We're here to act. It's important to have a strategic understanding of our purpose in the company. Our shared Manulife values were co-created with employees globally. Our values guide how we do our work. The employee needs hierarchy ensures that not only are basic needs met, but also individual recognition, a happy team dynamic, and personal growth opportunities. These are part of your needs that Manulife passionately works on with you every day. And lastly, we have the engagement pulse check, or Gallup poll, whose 36 questions are directly linked to our framework. And, as always, you can give us open feedback too. This allows us to improve and action at both an individual and collective team level. The format follows an agreement scale that goes from strongly agree to strongly disagree. The result is a measure of our engagement relative to other teams and the industry. So that's our high-performing team engagement framework in a nutshell. We're quite excited to hear from you. Until then, remember, we're getting better every day. Bye!
Intelligence is the foundation of any good business. But if every good business has it, how do you stand out? Intuition. When enabled by technology, intuition stops feeling like a hunch and starts looking like confidence. The confidence you get when you work with Cognizant, where we engineer every aspect of your business, technology, processes, and experiences to anticipate expectations and act instantly. This is intuition, and we can engineer it.